Welcome, Wargamers, back to Battle Ready. So this channel is all about Warhammer and gaming, tabletop gaming, but it's especially and particularly about tabletop gaming, father and son, family gaming, that sort of thing. And so one of the things I thought we'd talk about today is just, how did Drake get into Warhammer? Why does he like it? Why is it good? And, maybe you can use that information in getting your own kids interested. So, Drake, how did you start Warhammer?
I feel like when I first started playing, it was really confusing because
Before we get there, how did you first get into it? How did you first hear about Warhammer?
You told me about it.
I think your mom took you to the Games Workshop, right?
Right. Yeah. So I started. At first I had like little not Warhammer, but like little army dudes, little army models, and I had some skeletons. So we went to the Games Workshop store, and I asked him for like a skeleton king, and I bought the white king.
Yep. So we had our very first model introduced, and this is prior to any Warhammer happening in our home.
Yes.
Now, I've always been a tabletop gamer, RPGs, board games, all that sort of stuff, but I was never into Warhammer specifically. But one day, Drake comes home and he's got himself a white king to build and paint. And how'd that go for you?
It was at first it was a challenging experience because it was a push fit model, not a plastic glue model.
Yeah, it wasn't normal glue. It was a push fit.
Yeah. And so it was really hard for me to push fit the model together because I had a lot of pointy bits on it.
Yeah, it was pretty pointy. This is sort of a different topic, but I actually think, having been doing this for a little while now, sort of about a year into it now. COVID hobby, exactly. The plastic glue, the models you glue together are just way better than the push fit models. Yeah. Push fit metals, sometimes you can't push them in all the way. I find a lot of times I'll grind out a little bit of the hole to make the peg fit in there better. But at the same time, if I had gotten a non-push fit model for our first forays, I might have been a little bit intimidated, even though I like it better now. But anyway, so you got that, and then painting. How did painting go? Did you enjoy that?
Yes, I enjoyed it a lot because I like the painting more than the building, because with the building, for me, it feels like it just feels like I could mess something up and then I couldn't be able to paint the model, and then I'd be sad because I lost that money.
Well, luckily, I'm here to help you build.
Yes.
And building's actually my favorite. I way prefer it to painting.
I like painting a lot more because it really lets me get better at it. And with the building, it for me, it's just like looking at a gray thing and slowly making it. And I don't like that as much as painting it and making it not gray.
Making it come to life a little bit.
Yes.
So, all right, you have your one white king. I think you ultimately also got the Sepulchral Guard.
For Christmas.
So you started getting a couple of Warhammer minis for Christmas, and you enjoyed painting those. So what made you want to actually try the game?
I feel like because I started noticing that the box, when we kept flipping, when we finished the pages, I noticed there was a couple more pages, even after the instructions were over. So I flipped to them, and I found in the White King, a White King card.
Mm-hmm. One of the War Scrolls?
Yeah, one of the War Scrolls. And I was like, whacked.
Hmm.
And so I think I showed you it, and you were like, okay. And so after that happened, I think that activated me playing Warhammer, because I really like it now, and I like strategy games a lot.
Well, speaking of strategy games, so the way that we went from a couple of models to some armies that we could put together was we ended up getting the Soul Wars starter set.
In the late 2.0.
Very late, because that was in 2020, sort of middle in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And put together some Stormcast and some Nighthaunt. And how did you feel about that?
I feel like I liked it a lot. I started with a Nighthaunt, and for a long time, that was my favorite army. I liked it a lot. The Stormcast, I didn't know they were like the main heroes back then. So I was like, I don't think I like the Stormcast as much because they're basically just like people in armor, and I've seen that a lot. Whereas with the Night Haunt, it was something entirely new for me. I had never seen like ghosts wielding weapons, and like I especially like that the Night Haunt can revive people. That was one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Drake definitely likes taking people I've killed and bringing them back to life. That's for sure. So now, one of the things that, I think for a lot of kids your age, they're going to see all these units, and this unit can buff that unit, and this unit lets them reroll, and this unit over here gives them a +1 to this, and it's a lot to keep track of.
Yes. We still forget rules.
That's true. So for the first several games, we forgot multiple rules.
We mistook some rules with our evocators.
Yeah, we played the evocators completely wrong. We did all kinds of stuff, and we just forgot rules.
Yes.
But did that mean all of our games were terrible and bad?
No.
No, we kept playing, and each game we forget less. And one of these days, I've kept a list, we've played, I think, 41 games now. And we're getting close to remembering all the rules.
Yes.
We're getting close. I don't know that we've played a game where we've remembered all the rules yet.
No.
But we're getting close.
We misplayed the Rock Guts.
Yeah, so before we get to that, when it comes to it, how did you deal with having all those units with all those special powers? Was it hard? Was it confusing? Did it make the game not fun? Did it make it challenging?
It made it a little bit challenging, but it was really fun because our very first game I ever played Warhammer, when we finally got every single model built, what I had done is I had my chain rasp horde, and then I put my 4 Glaive Stalkers in like a triangle formation. And I was like, okay, I can use these Glaive Stalkers as like a bodyguard to my chain rasps because you had your castigators and your Soulstone Ballista.
Mm-hmm.
But did you have the Ballista?
I'm sure I did.
And I was like, because I didn't understand the rules that you could shoot anything you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, these guys can take the shots. That way my chain rasps are more survivable and they can go in and smack ya.
Yep. So you did get to think more strategically. And one of the things that really impressed me about Warhammer playing, even though like I said, we got a lot of rules wrong and forgot a lot of, and when I say a lot of rules wrong, we didn't get wrong the phases, right? Yes. Or the way movement works. That's sort of the core rules are pretty straightforward. We got those down pretty well. What we got wrong were the unit abilities, and then we forget, oh yeah, that guy was supposed to let me reroll ones. Or, oh, I cast Mystic Shield, and then when they fought, I forgot to do my Mystic Shield stuff. Or all kinds of things like that. So that's what we were forgetting. But what I loved about Warhammer was how every game told a story.
Yes.
And the stories were always so interesting and new and different and fun. Mm-hmm. Do you also like that? Or
I like that because almost every time I say, what's the story for this battle? What's the story for this battle?
Yeah, so each time we set up the 2 armies, we talk about why they're there, what's going on, and then you have times when one army clashes into the next, and they fight and they fight and they fight, and you get to find out who the winner is, and that's cool. And then you have times when an overwhelming force smashes in, and somehow, some way, that overwhelming force rolls low, and the defending force happens to roll high, and so you get this epic tale of these 3 guys holding off the hordes of demons or whatever, and vice versa. Sometimes you get stories about how these 3 guys charged in and took on a whole horde of chain rasps or whatever, and even if they die, you get, the stories the bards will sing about for generations, right? You get to live those experiences on the tabletop. And I can't tell you how many games of, just as an example, of Settlers of Catan I've played. Actually, I can. It's well over 80. And it's fun, and I like it. It's good. I love board games. But there's very few games where I would say, oh, remember that one time in Settlers where that just didn't happen. But I can't tell you how many times we've played and said, oh, remember when Indrasta came in and killed the Mangler Squig at the very last minute? Or, oh, remember when the Evocators, when we were playing their rules wrong, came in and just decimated all the chain rasps.
Yeah, I had a unit of 20 chain rasps. Killed them all.
So
every single one.
Yeah, we got the rule a little bit wrong. But those memories are so great. And
when I actually killed Sigvald, when you first got him.
Yeah, when I had Sigvald and they got smashed. He got smashed so hard by undead people. So that's, I think, one of the great things about it. And I think one of the keys to making it enjoyable is, first, we play real friendly. So if somebody forgets to do something and we can fix it later, we just fix it. Great example. The last time we played, I forgot to do shooting from my turn before and that was already to Drake's turn.
Yes.
And I said, oh, shoot, well, let me just do a shooting attack real quick. And then we just did it real quick. And if we can't fix it, we just say, it's too late now. That shooting I forgot was 3 turns ago. We can't remember what stuff was like then. It's over. And then we just keep playing, right? Because it's not important to us that we get every little tiny rule right. What's important to us is that the game is enjoyable. And I think we've done a good job with that.
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite part of Warhammer?
My favorite part is the charging, where you can't just move straight into combat. You have to roll to see if you can do it. And I like that there's still the very smallest of small chances that you can fail the charge, even 3 inches away. And
let me ask you this. We have several armies now. We've got Stormcast, Krulbais, and Nighthaunt. But we've also built armies for Daughters, for Caradron, for Seraphon, for Nurgle, for Tzeentch, for Slaanesh, and for Gloomspite.
I've built the Gloomspite.
That's been something he's wanted for his birthdays and Christmases and whatnot.
Just have 3 more things to buy for him.
What's your favorite army and why?
I like the Gloomspite Gets a lot because they really fit my playstyle. The first Destruction army we ever got.
And what's your playstyle?
My playstyle is one thing. Smash.
So he's got trolls, lots of trolls. He does have some squigs, which he uses to good effect, but mostly he loves to hit things with clubs. And so that's why there's a lot of Troggoths in the army. Well, for those of you who want to get your kids interested in that sort of thing, I hope this has been helpful. I think focusing on the narratives, focusing on the story is great. I think not sweating all the rules is good. I mean, the more you can remember, the better, because that's only going to improve things as time goes on. Mm-hmm. But if you forget a rule, and you will, who cares? Just keep it going, have fun. And now, who wins more, you or me?
You.
I win more. Have you ever won?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure you've won.
Because he had like 20 plus years.
Yeah, I've got some years of gaming on you. But that's the important thing, is we really try to focus that we're just telling the story, and it doesn't really matter who wins. Mm-hmm. And the game is such that at Drake's age, he is learning to make tactical decisions, strategic decisions, when to retreat, when to go forward. And he has definitely beat me a number of times, and it is so great to see. I hope that if you're interested in gaming with your kids, you can take some of this and go with it and get them really interested, because this has been a very fun time. I love the father-son time we have. I love that it does not involve iPads or TV or screens of any kind, and we're just having a great time with it. Mm-hmm. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and happy wargaming.